Hello, everybody. My name is Paco, and here we are again, another morning. It is Monday, April the 6th, and this is Coffee and Headlines. I look through the headlines on local and not so local news sources every morning while I'm drinking coffee, and I share them with you. Please feel free to say hi. Please feel free to let me know where you are if you're watching. Um, Good morning, Michal. It's good to see you back. Thank you very much for stopping by. As I said, it is Monday, although these days it doesn't feel like one day or the other to me. Days seem to come and go as we go, and it doesn't make a difference between one and the other. Last night, I found myself at home watching television and thinking to myself, there's only so much television one can watch. There's only so many books you can read. Yesterday was definitely one of those days in which I felt a little fidgety. Good morning, Lydia. It's good to see you back. Thank you very much for joining us. Alain, thank you very much for being with us. Good morning. I have a special live stream surprise for you, not today, but I want to put something in motion. I will let you know, and this has to do with Princesas Desesperadas. This is my friend Alain, who is the producer of this very successful Spanish um, theatrical performance that has been shown in Puerto Vallarta for the last 6 years to much, much success. Um, Good morning, Rita. Thank you very much for joining us. Good morning, Jeremiah. Hola. It's nice to see you. Catherine, it's great to see you. My friend David Estrada is here. David was making some wonderful uh, Argentinian empanadas 2 weekends ago, and he home delivered them for me, and I hope he's going to do this again. Debbie Simon Bryan, thank you so much for joining us. It's a great time to be here and seeing all your beautiful faces. Julian Morales, one of my favorite wine purveyors in this town, is also with us. Um, if you ever need wine, he's my go-to guy along with Nina Goodhope. They're excellent wine connoisseurs. Julian has been taking sommelier courses, so he's a wonderful resource for local wines and such. So let's get started. I have a few headlines to share with you today. Let's have a quick look. Um, this is U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams, who was on the news yesterday in Meet the Nation, or maybe the day before. I caught him yesterday on Facebook. This week will be the coronavirus's worst week in the United States, warn the experts. This was challenging to watch as things are going to be very, very difficult for our neighbors north of the border. I will share you the link of this very good article here. In a second. Meanwhile, in Mexico, López-Gatell, who is our equivalent to, there he is. Um, Actually, take a look at them. This is Surgeon General, and this is López-Gatell, Mexico's spokesperson for the science and the health of the coronavirus. Um, I tell you, some of my friends have been remarking about how handsome these gentlemen are. Um, I'm going to leave it at that because we're going to try to keep this serious. Anyhow, Excelsior reports from Mexico City that Mexico will enter phase three of the epidemic in 2 to 3 weeks. So what the state of New York is going through right now is what we're probably going to be going through in about 2 to 3 weeks. Um, he emphasized yesterday the epidemic is obviously not over, so he's insisting that populations should stay home because it's the only way to decrease the intensity of transmission. Um, and that's what he had. Then, oh my God, this next article broke my heart. National Geographic and many other news sources reported that a Malayan tiger at the Bronx Zoo is the first animal to contract COVID-19. Tiger tests positive for it. Um, this is a horrible feeling, but when I read this, I felt so bad because of my kitty cat. What can I say? We protect our own, and this is how I reacted to this. I don't know what to make of this news item. If this means that our loved pets and the world's animals are also susceptible to this um, virus, I certainly hope that somebody will come up with a vaccine sometime in the near future. Anyhow, I will leave the link to this after the show is over. Then I read this in Engadget. Google Maps now highlights restaurants with delivery options. I have been feeling very strongly, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on today, about our local restaurants and how they are coping with this very challenging period. So anyhow, Google Maps, which you can access on your phones, on your mobile devices, is now showcasing restaurants that offer home delivery. And I actually took some time this morning to open the application on my phone, and I was able to verify that this is the case. Now, what kind of information should you, restaurant owners, give to Google for you to appear is a mystery to me. But as a consumer and as a foodie, it's good to know that now through Google Apps, it's very easy to find out which restaurants near me are offering home delivery options. And this is good news for everybody or anybody that is looking what to have for lunch and so forth and so on. Puerto Vallarta, as you know, this past weekend was the first weekend of Semana Santa, and this is the time in which, oh, good Lord, many of us take cover from the huge numbers of tourists that arrive from other parts of Mexico. And I will show you a video a little bit in a little while of what it was like for me yesterday walking down to the pier at Los Muertos Beach. But anyhow, Contralinea reports that, yes, there were a few stray tourists hanging out at the beaches yesterday without taking much consideration for all the guidelines that have been set forth by the local government. What caught my attention in this article was a little statement down here, this one here, which says that as looking at the continent, Mexico is at the same percentage as the United States as far as social distancing and staying at home guidelines, which is at 35.4%. And I found that interesting. I don't know exactly if that means that only 35.4% of the population is doing it, or if it's being 35.4% successful, or what. But if we are applying this guideline at the same level as the United States, this is thought-provoking because, again, and we talk about this a lot, on how a lot of folks that live here have been making comments about how the Mexican community is not following the rules. Well, if we are at the same level as the United States in terms of following the guidelines, then we must be in the same place as the United States as far as following the guidelines. But again, I don't want to make this a source of debate. This is what I saw, and this is what I found interesting about the news item. Meanwhile, thanks to my friend Alain this morning, just like 10 minutes ago, he shared with me that a lot of tourists are getting ugly because they're not being welcomed. Yesterday, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but in Sayulita, a group of citizens have taken it upon themselves to stop cars at the highway and sending tourists back. A group of self-motivated vigilantes. And the kinds of remarks that tourists are writing in reaction to this are sad and embarrassing, I must say, which makes me believe that it's going to be a very challenging week for all of us in terms of how people are reacting. Somebody commented, "You cannot prohibit access; it's illegal what you're doing," and then adding some colorful metaphors about Sayulita and so forth and so on. This other tourist said, "Well, my luggage is ready. I cannot come to Sayulita, so I'll have to go to Puerto Vallarta." And well, we'll see how well you fare here, as again, everybody has pretty much closed all services on the beach. Um, Meanwhile, it's good to know that the convention center here in Puerto Vallarta has been turned into a triage center where people that have some of the symptoms of COVID-19 are getting samples taken. Now, the article is quick to emphasize that this is not a place where you can or should go just because you feel sick. The cases that they're handling there must first contact the telephone number listed here, 333-823-3220, to get a pre-screening appointment, and then you can um, go or be expected at the convention center. On a completely different matter, and staying away from the COVID-19 related news, I have to introduce you to Chocolate Covered Katy. This is a healthy dessert blog that I've been following for a long time. And I have made a bunch of things out of this blog. And she's pretty. It's too bad I'm gay, because I would love to go out with her, but that's beside the point. Anyhow, yesterday I spotted this brand new peanut butter no bake cookies recipe. Take a look at that. Isn't that sexy? And the beautiful thing about these is that they feature all these ingredients. Oh, they're vegan, oil-free, no-bake, gluten-free, made in just 5 minutes. Look at this. Just look at that. It gives me a food. Well, I'm not going to say it. Anyhow, look at the list of ingredients. It's very easy to make. Here it is. All it takes is rolled or quick oats, salt, peanut butter, maple syrup or honey, and coconut oil, all of which I have in my refrigerator. So there goes my waistline again. I will leave you the link to this recipe as soon as we're done. I also want to alert you to the Tiny Desk concerts that NPR puts together. Tiny Desk concerts are intimate video performances recorded live at the desk of All Songs Considered host Bob Boilen. This is something that NPR has been doing for quite some time, and I love it because they invite people to perform at their offices, and you end up with these wonderful acoustic performances that feature everyone from Yo-Yo Ma to the Cranberries to Julieta Venegas to all kinds of artists. So um, again, I talk a lot about YouTube as a great source of entertainment. You can find all of the Tiny Desk concerts either listed on the NPR website or also on their YouTube channel. And just a few days ago, on April 1st, and they say it was no joke, they had Michael McDonald, the wonderful Michael McDonald, pop songwriter, singer, keyboardist, just amazing demigod. He did a little Tiny Desk concert, but obviously not from the NPR offices. He was performing at his home. He performed two of his great hits, Minute by Minute and What a Fool Believes. And I've seen the concert. It is on YouTube, and I will share this with you as we go on with the show today. Let us take a quick look at who else has joined us. Let's see. We said hello to Debbie Simon Bryan. Yes, we said hello to Tom Hicks. Welcome. First time listening. I am so glad that you're here. Hi, Pam Thompson. Shout out to you and all the wonderful work that you guys are doing at the Hospital San Javier. It is so great to have you as a resource in our community. It's always wonderful to learn what the local community is about, and it's always great to see you here. Good morning to my dearest friend, Paul Chris, who's in Washington, itching to come back here to look after his Hotel Mercurio. Kathy Howell says, I look forward every day to your broadcast. Thank you very much, Kathy. I now look forward to them every day. I must say it's been a week now since we started with this, doing live broadcasts every single day. It's hair-wrecking, I must confess, because some of the technology is new to me, and I want to make sure that I'm being successful at my job of connecting with you and connecting you with what's important to us right now. Something must be going well because you guys are here, and I'm extremely grateful to you for that. Clark. Hello, Clark. I'm not going to try to go for your last name because I don't know how to say it, but it's so good that you're here. Paul says, thanks. I'm going to log in and update my Google business. Absolutely. And we're going to talk about restaurants and what restaurants can be doing to better your chances during this time. Louis and Louise Anderson says, thanks. And Pam Thompson chimes in again. These are so great, Paco. Thank you so much. I have to go before you finish, but we'll watch later. You are a star. I don't know about a star, but it's nice that you brought up something really important. If you don't catch these live, you can always come back on every episode of the show notes. I'm leaving indication of what we're talking about. Elizabeth Price, thank you so much for chiming in. It's good to hear what you have to say. And I want to show you a quick show and tell. Let me set it up because this is part of what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to go visit with my friend Crystal Frost. And why cannot not? Oh, there you go. 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 Today, I'm going to go visit with my dear friend Crystal Frost, who owns Organic Select. She has been in the business, like many restaurants and eateries and food sources, of serving food to go. And this is something that I feel very strongly about these days. There are many local sources, many businesses that are getting caught in the midst of not having enough business. Hotel owners are big in my heart because one of my dearest friends in town is a hotel owner. But also restaurants. I'm a big foodie, and I'm sure you are too. And I feel very strongly about supporting our local restaurants as much as we can. And I'm wondering how you're doing, how you're doing in terms of whether you're going out to restaurants, whether you're ordering takeout, or are you having things delivered. I think it's important in whatever measure we can put forth that we continue to support local businesses, and restaurants are a perfect example of this. So yesterday I wrote an article. Well, yesterday I talked about this Facebook notes suggestion that restaurants can put into place, and then I wrote an article about it and put it on the website, and then it went out on my newsletter, and I was very grateful to see that the article was very well received. So this is an open call for restaurants. Restaurants, how can we help you? How can I help you better connect with your clients in this time of crisis? And to you, people that are kindly watching, what are you doing to connect with restaurants, if at all? Or are you all just doing a lot of cooking at home? How are you feeding yourselves? If part of your solution is to go out to restaurants or interact with restaurants in one way or another, I'd love to know about this so that we can put together ways in which we can create a better connection between you and the restaurants so that we all have good food to eat, and so that the restaurants can make some money during these weeks. As you know, it's only the 6th. This goes on here in Mexico until the 30th of April. And then once the 30th gets here, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Let's take a quick look again at some hellos. Elizabeth Price, we have read this before. Bob Schrock, how are you? I just learned about this. Thank you very much, needed. Bob, I hope you're staying safe. If you're still in Puerto Vallarta, I know that you had plans, or I hear that you had plans to put your musical in one of the local venues this upcoming season. I hope this still will come to be, and that's my very sincere wish for you. Hello to Betsy up in Rincon de Guayabitos. I hope things are not too crazy in Rincon de Guayabitos for you, Betsy. I know that Rincon de Guayabitos is a dear place to me. It's a place where a lot of Mexican nationals go and vacation during Semana Santa, and I certainly hope that the local authorities are keeping things in check as far as the public is concerned. And that's pretty much all I have to share with you at this point. I'm going to go and have my day, as I'm sure you are. I'll try to keep my social distancing going, but I will go and visit with my friend Crystal Frost to see what she's up to and to see how we can support her and other restaurants in the city so that they can get their message across in a more effective way to their audiences. And that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. I hope you'll stick around. I hope you will share this with your friends and loved ones. And I hope you'll come back tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you soon.